Hi, it's Mike. Welcome to my kitchen. It's my birthday, so I'm doing something special. I'm gonna do me a beef tenderloin. So you can buy this trimmed and pay a lot more for it. You can buy it untrimmed. I think I get this for less than $10 a pound. So this is about a $50 piece of meat. I got that at Global Food over there in Kirkwood. So if you're not familiar with that place, there's probably a Whole Food market somewhere, some kind of an international market usually, where they have a wide variety of beef where you can buy this untrimmed. So the first thing you want to do is, you can see there's like a skin on here that definitely wants to come off, kind of like on the ribs where you pull that skin off and it just comes right off. And you can see that's kind of everywhere. So I just yank that stuff off as far as you can. I'm not going to get real deep into this, but basically what you do is you get your sharp knife and you get up under that shiny part. That shiny part has to all come off. And the weird thing about the shiny part is as you kind of start trimming it away like that, it'll start pulling apart. So you got to keep coming back here and picking it up farther back. And over here, if you don't get it all off, you'll have a nice expensive piece of chewy meat. So usually you can get a little pull on it, and then I just let that sit up there, and I come back here and kind of start working. And you just work all the ends right back up to the top. So, and you want to try and get as little meat out of there on the trimming as possible, so you're not throwing away a bunch of good meat. It just pains me when I throw this part away, because you're throwing away $10 a pound. You pull off probably every bit of half to 2/3 of a pound of waste goes into this, but it's still a lot less expensive. The other thing is, if you wait until you buy like a $75 piece of meat like this, it's pre-trimmed and pre-done, you're not gonna do it nearly as often. With this, what I like to do is once I get it trimmed up, I hardly ever cook the whole thing unless I'm doing like a New Year's Eve or something. I'll cut into pieces about as wide as my hand, and that'll give you maybe two. You figure if it's a steak, everybody eats about that much. So if you do about your hand width, that's about 2 to 3 people's worth. Usually I do more than one kind of meat. So if it's just me and my wife sitting down, I'll make that big piece and I'll use some leftovers for sandwiches. If there's 3 people, I usually throw on a little bit of chicken or maybe some salmon or something to go with that. So, okay, so I kind of showed you how to continue to do this. And once you get up to the top and you get this all trimmed out, and for the sake of time, I might be being a little bit more wasteful than I normally am. Once you get this all trimmed out to the top, you kind of keep cutting it, and that'll come off. Once you have that off, you still will have little pieces like in here. Boy, you don't want those in there either. Again, that's gonna give you, it's gonna give your guests a chewy piece of nasty meat. So continue to trim that out until you have most of that gone. Then there's a little section in here that has some junk in it. Trim all that out. And you'll just kind of keep trimming away. The thing you want to do is try and leave as much meat there as possible while you're trimming. This piece tends to run itself all the way around. Sometimes it can be real easy to find, because sometimes that gets kind of hard. And when you find the hard stuff, anything that's white, this one's pretty good. There's very little trim that has to be done on this one. But anything that looks white like that, just get your sharp knife. Be careful not to cut yourself, and trim it on out. And once you get to where it looks pretty good, I've done a couple of things. Like I said, I'll cut it up into sections this wide. When I do that on the grill, I just put a little olive oil, salt, coarse salt, pepper, and garlic, and I'll just roll it every 3 minutes until it reaches about 132 degrees, and I'll pull it off, and it's a perfect medium rare. The other thing you can do is you can cut into filet mignon sizes. So that would be, again, as wide as you really think. Some people like them a little wider. For your information, you can wrap all of this in bacon and cook it if you want. But when you cut into the filet mignons, the best part of it falls pretty much right in here. That's the best part of it. Beyond here, you could take that and wrap it like that in bacon and throw it on the grill, or even just stick some toothpicks in it. I recommend that you don't let that tail cook like that, that you fold it over and toothpick it in there, and that way it cooks nice and even all the way through. So that's how you trim it out. And if you want to stick around, it is my birthday. I may show you the cooked part if I feel like it. I'm not sure if I want to work, but we'll catch up with you later. Hi, it's Mike. I'm back, and I got this all trimmed out. It looks really, really good. So I'm keeping this section, like I said, that's the best section. We're gonna have that for dinner time. I'm doing that with some turkey and some ribs. So we're gonna have a whole lot of good tasting meat on the grill this afternoon. One thing I will tell you, when you dig into a tenderloin, you'll have for the fat end and the skinny end, and I'll show you how to kind of flip that skinny end over. What's left of that skinny end is right here. So again, when I cook him like that, I'll cook it like that. If you do cut into steaks, just do it like that and then wrap it in bacon. Usually when you get to this end, it gets a little bit harder to make them into filet mignons, but you still can. You can get fillets out of every bit of this. So this piece here, I kind of call that like my Tuesday night. I'll go ahead and throw that in the freezer. I won't pull that out on one of my big nights like this night for my birthday. But I'll pull this out on a regular weeknight. So as you can see, I got about $50 worth of stuff here. Really translates into, you know, 12 bucks a meal. So that's not really that bad to be eating tenderloin. Another thing you'll notice is at the fat end. So it was kind of made up like this, the middle part being the best. Again, pulling that out for tonight. The fat end was kind of like that. So I cut this piece off here, and you'll see, just like when we did the roast, you can kind of see the defining grain go. You'll see this as a defined piece, and I usually cut him off. He's usually pretty good too, so I put him right up there with that piece just because this one has a little bit more fat being at the end and a little bit more grain stuff. There's some stuff I missed. You can see about how much you trim out here, and like I said, I hate to throw away almost like a whole steak's worth. But when you're done, it should look pretty much like this, and nice and clean and neat. And again, 4 pieces, about 12 bucks a piece, so you're not killing yourself to have steak. And it's a lot cheaper than going out, and trust me, it's every bit as good. So we'll get this on the grill later, and hopefully you're sticking around to see that, or it might be next time. I'm not sure. It's my birthday. I'm not sure how hard I'm going to work today. So we'll catch up with you later. Hi, it's Mike. Welcome back to my kitchen. Appreciate you being here on my birthday. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull this off with my birthday and friends and everything, but here's the tenderloin. Usually I use a little bit of olive oil, but I opened the cabinet and I was out of it. So I got my Aldi's vegetable oil. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop a little bit on there. Not a ton, just enough to wrap it around there. And then just kind of wipe it around. And then I use a little bit of kosher salt. I say a little bit, but the more the better on this. Kind of, within reason. Be careful. I mean, you gotta keep your heart alive. This is really lean beef though, so this is probably better for you than a hamburger. From there, pepper. So we got our coarse salt, we have pepper. We're gonna pepper the whole thing. Now it's nice and oiled. All the way around. And then my garlic powder. Put that stuff on everything. There you go. All right, so that's what that should look like when you're done. And now it's ready to go on the grill. From there, I'm gonna put it on the grill. The grill is running out there at about 350, 375. I will put it on the grill and turn it every 3 minutes until it reaches about 132 degrees. I'll pull it off at 132 degrees for a perfect medium rare. So stay tuned, we'll be back in a minute. Hi, it's Mike, we're outside. Okay, so again, birthday, you can see people are hanging out in the background having a good time. On the green egg, I've got some ribs. My rib recipe, which you saw already. I also got a turkey breast, I just pulled that off. We'll do that some other time, but just know that I like to have a good variety of meat. If it's just a couple of us, you know, I'll make a couple of different things. I usually like, you know, like a steak and a chicken or a pork and a chicken, or almost always have chicken on the recipe. Also salmon, like salmon too. If I'm doing salmon, I like a little beef with that. It just kind of depends on your liking. And then beyond that, I'll usually make them enough that I can send some people home with some stuff because I like to share what I make. So let's roll over to the grill. It's sitting over here at about 380 right now. And I'm gonna do this on the gas grill. This is super simple. If you have a gas grill, you can do this. Don't overdo it. Don't let big old giant flames be sticking up here. Get it up to a nice even fire. If you do have a less expensive gas grill, it's a little bit hard to maintain. Keep the water thing around. And I know, you know, don't dump water, keep it off the meat. But if you get big flames, sometimes the less expensive gas grills will tend to make flame. All I would say is don't not do this because you don't have one of these bad boys. So let's go ahead and drop it on. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer for 3 minutes. And we'll be back in 3 minutes, and I will turn this every 3 minutes again until it gets to a perfect 130, 132, right around there. And then I'll pull it off and let it cool, and then we'll slice it up. I'm probably gonna skip a few turns with it, but because it's my birthday, I'm having fun. But we'll be back in a little bit, and when we get a little bit closer, we'll show you what happens at the end. Hi, it's Mike, I'm back. So this hunk of tenderloin takes about 40 to 50 minutes, just kind of depending on your flame. As you can see, I got my ribs over here on the side. If you followed that recipe, then you enjoy those. My timer is going off. I've been flipping it every 3 minutes, as you can see. And after flipping it 3 minutes to 3 minutes to 3 minutes, I'm right up to, see, right now I'm at 100 and 122. So, trick here, go down the middle. Don't stick in from here because you never know where the middle is, but if you find the middle here, you just kind of go right down the middle. And I'm really showing 131 here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that off. Another thing you need to know is any piece of meat that you take off of the grill will continue to cook for a few minutes after you take it off. So 135 is about medium rare. That's where most people like it if you like a good tenderloin. So you want to take it off early because it will still keep cooking for a few minutes. So once I get to about 130, 132, I take her off and just set her there. It'll continue to roll for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna flip my ribs a couple more times and we'll be ready to eat. So hope you enjoy. It's my birthday. I got ribs, I got a turkey breast, I didn't let you see it all, and then I got a tenderloin. Hope you like all that if you make it, and I know I'm going to. Happy birthday to me, and we'll catch up with you next time.